proud of myself. I'm proud of not the performance in the way I boxed and stuff. There was a lot of mistakes made, but I'm proud of the heart I showed, the respect I gave the belt. The British belt brings out a lot from people, and there was a lot of massive fights for that belt before me.
Yeah, well, I think happens, yeah. Bring it on.
Shocking scenes after the fight as Fabio Wardley immediately demanded a rematch with Daniel Dubois following their brutal heavyweight war. Despite the loss, Wardley believes the result was not convincing enough, and now the pressure is building on Dubois to step back into the ring for another explosive showdown.
Tonight, that's for sure. So let Daniel go away and enjoy himself. And as I say, there's a rematch clause.
Frank Warren has now added even more fuel to the rematch talks by confirming that a rematch clause is already in place. That statement alone has got fans excited because it means Fabio Wardley still has a real path to run things back with Daniel Dubois after their unforgettable heavyweight battle.
Well, there is a rematch clause, so we'll see what happens.
If they decide to pass it for now,
we'll see what pans out in the next few months with all these various heavyweight fights that are happening, and that'll determine.
Don Charles made it clear that the final decision now depends on whether Team Fabio Wardley decide to activate the rematch clause. He also praised Daniel Dubois for bouncing back after a devastating stoppage defeat. But many fans believe Fabio pushed Dubois to his absolute limits and proved he belongs right at the top of the heavyweight division despite the loss.
Anthony Joshua had a rematch clause when he fought Daniel. That's up to them. If they want to exercise it, like I said, it's too premature. Let's go and digest this win. Let Daniel go and have some rest. Remember, that's him coming off the back of a loss, a stoppage loss, and to pull out that sort of performance.
David Adeli did not hesitate when asked about a possible rematch between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois. He wants to see it happen again, and honestly, most boxing fans feel exactly the same way. The first fight delivered pure chaos from start to finish, and now people are convinced a second fight could be even bigger once Fabio fully recovers. Buddy McGirt believes the early knockdown completely changed Fabio Wardley's approach in the fight. According to him, Fabio became too focused on landing one big shot instead of sticking to smart boxing. Even then, McGirt still respected Wardley's toughness and heart, admitting that the performance was strong enough to deserve another massive showdown with Daniel Dubois.
Hell of a fight. I think the worst thing that happened was that knockdown in the first round. After that, Wardley was just looking for that right hand. No jabs, no defense, no left hook. Sorry, meat and chicken. You know what I mean? But it was a hell of a fight. He showed the heart of a champion, and I think there should be a rematch.
Fraser Clark admitted the fight may not have been the cleanest technical heavyweight contest ever, but the action and violence inside that ring was unreal. He praised both men for bringing pure entertainment to the fans. Still, many viewers believe Fabio Wardley's aggression and pressure made the fight unforgettable, and that is exactly why the rematch demand keeps growing louder. Derek Chisora completely went after Fabio Wardley's performance and claimed he abandoned the basics during the fight. Chisora felt Fabio relied too much on power shots instead of using his jab and movement. But despite all the criticism, Wardley still pushed Daniel Dubois through one of the toughest fights of his career, and that says everything about Fabio's fighting spirit. Daniel Dubois openly admitted that he had to dig deep mentally during the fight with Fabio Wardley. The heavyweight champion revealed he was forced into a dark place before finding a way back into the contest. That alone shows how dangerous Fabio truly was on fight night, because very few fighters have managed to push Dubois that far physically and mentally.
I needed that slap just to wake up, stay in reality, just not slip. I got to dig deep. And as a warrior, you have to dig deep because got to go to that dark place and come out.
Daniel Dubois just admitted something that changes everything about this heavyweight war. The champion confessed Fabio Wardley had him nervous and needing to be woken up in the corner. That's not what champions usually say after winning.
I'll tell you what, it's one of the best fights I've ever seen. One of the best fights. Fair play to Fabio Wardley. What a hard man he is. He didn't want to quit. His corner didn't pull him out. And Daniel Dubois kept his composure. He kept his composure. He stuck to the plan. He started to get a bit tired himself. He realised that Wardley has still got something in the tank. He kept pulling it out of the bag. He looked dead on his feet. But
Here's what really happened in that ring. Dubois thought his jab would control the fight early, but Wardley kept walking through everything, forcing brutal exchanges that had both men in serious trouble. Every round was a coin flip.
Never seen a heavyweight fight that captivating, that entertaining, round after round, backwards and forwards. The heart on these guys, the balls, the bravery. That's what you want to pay. That's what you want to. We hope every time we tune in for a heavyweight championship, you're getting that type of energy. They both gave everything they had. I could watch that.
David Adeli caught something crucial that most people missed. Every time Wardley loaded up with power shots, Dubois fired straight back with clean counters. That's how he slowly built confidence as the fight went on. But it was never comfortable.
I said it, don't blink, it's going to be the most amazing few rounds. It was much better than that. It was just a phenomenal fight, phenomenal to watch, to witness and see these two guys, what they did bearing their soul and Daniel getting off the floor and the canvas and coming back how he did. It swung both ways to fight, and it was just... The
damage tells the real story. Both heavyweights were taking punishment that would drop most fighters. Wardley's relentless pressure never disappeared, even when he looked exhausted. That's the kind of heart you can't teach.
What a warrior he is, and came through that test. Coming off the back of a loss, I was a bit nervy to start off with and a bit all over the place, but I pulled it together and got the victory.
Dominic Ingle called it one of the greatest heavyweight battles he's ever watched. And this is a guy who's seen everything in boxing. He couldn't believe Wardley's refusal to quit when most fighters would have folded completely.
Listen, the fight was supposed to stop in round 10 because his nose was bleeding so badly.
What's next to them? I'm hearing a rematch clause. If not, who do you want to see him fight?
Nobody.
But here's where it gets wild. David Hay said this was one of the most entertaining title fights he's ever seen. Coming from a former heavyweight champion, that means something. Both men refused to back down for a single second.
Nobody could ever question this young man again. Yeah? All that quitting nonsense. Nobody will ever question him again.
Two-time heavyweight champion of the world under you.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
It does.
There's more to come. There's more to come. We were in there with a very dangerous fighter in the name of Fabio Wardley. He should be proud of himself.
Frank Warren admitted even he didn't expect it to become this chaotic. The veteran promoter has seen thousands of fights, and this one caught him off guard. The momentum swings were insane, with constant danger for both fighters.
It was very hard for the two guys, but I think for the crowd, but also a nice fight. Unbelievable, I like it.
Was you surprised about the heart that Daniel showed you down?
Yes, 100% I was surprised. But Daniel gave a good performance. He was the first and then the 4 rounds, I don't know, he was one down.
And get this, despite losing, Wardley's stock has absolutely exploded. People now see him as a genuine elite contender. That's what happens when you push a world champion to his absolute limit and make him admit you had him shook.
Yeah, well done, Daniel Dubois. Fabio Wardley, absolute warrior. It wasn't the most skilled heavyweight fight I've ever seen, but it was just what the fans wanted to see. The fans wanted that. That was blood and guts. But well done, Daniel Dubois. Good.
The calls for a rematch are getting impossible to ignore. When a champion says the challenger dragged him into survival mode, fans want to see it happen again, especially when both men left everything in that ring. Listen, performances like this are exactly why boxing fans are going crazy for a second fight. Wardley proved he belongs at the top level, and Dubois showed he can dig deep when things get ugly. That's a recipe for fireworks. So here's my question, drop it in the comments. Do you think Wardley deserves an immediate rematch, or should he have to earn it? If this breakdown opened your eyes to what really went down, smash that like button and subscribe for more boxing breakdowns. So here's my question, drop it in the comments. Do you think Wardley deserves an immediate rematch, or should he have to earn it? If this breakdown opened your eyes to what really went down, smash that like button and subscribe for more boxing breakdowns. But wait, there's something even more shocking that came out after this fight. Dubois' trainer revealed they had completely underestimated Wardley's chin and recovery ability. They prepared for a boxer who would fold under pressure, not a warrior who thrived in chaos. The punch stats from this fight are absolutely mind-blowing. Both men landed over 70% of their power shots in the championship rounds. That's video game numbers in real heavyweight boxing. Most title fights never reach that level of sustained violence. Here's what's really crazy. Wardley actually hurt Dubois more times than the champion hurt him. The scorecards didn't reflect how many moments Dubois was genuinely in survival mode. That's why the rematch talk isn't just hype, it's necessary. Eddie Hearn jumped on social media immediately after, calling this the kind of fight that creates legends. He's absolutely right. Both men walked into that ring as good fighters and walked out as proven warriors. That transformation doesn't happen often in boxing. The medical reports after this war were insane. Both heavyweights required extensive treatment, but neither man complained about a single injury. That old-school mentality is exactly what heavyweight boxing has been missing for years.